in what is seen as the new milestone in civil aviation sector in the country, and to give better connectivity to the remote regions of the country like the Northeast. Now Alliance Air has launched this brand new generation Dornier aircraft. We are coming to you from the Dibrugarh airport in Assam, and you can see here this aircraft of Alliance Air, newly inducted in its fleet, will take off from in some time for its inaugural flight of the new Udan route, which is being inaugurated in Upper Assam, connecting to remote towns of Arunachal Pradesh. The first route which is going to start is the route between Pasighat and Dibrugarh. However, in a phase-wise manner, at least half a dozen important towns of eastern Arunachal Pradesh, particularly of Pasighat, Tezu, Zero, would be linked through this 17-seater Dornier aircraft, which is one of the new generation aircraft. It has been indigenously made in the country, so this aircraft has been pegged as the Made in India aircraft. The Hindustan Aeronautics Limited has made this aircraft completely inside the country. Remember, since the 80s, the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited has been making Dornier aircraft, the earlier version, but it has been rather assembling the aircraft. But this new generation version, this is made in India for the first time, and this is the first Made in India civil Dornier aircraft which is going to be pressed into service. Now essentially this is a important moment, because under the Udan scheme, while the government of India is trying to connect tier 2, tier 3 cities and smaller cities in the Northeast, particularly in Arunachal Pradesh, connectivity has been an issue. Now the region which will be connected in a phase-wise manner are Pasighat, Tezu, Zero, Mechuka, in fact Tooting. So these are the areas where you have the Indian Air Force advanced landing grounds, which are used for military operation, as well as civil aircrafts are also allowed to land there. So this aircraft will land there in those advanced landing ground, giving civil aviation scope to those areas. Remember, these are areas which are otherwise, to come to the nearest airport like Dibrugarh in Dibrugarh or Lilabari airport in Upper Assam. Sometimes people need from 1 to 4 days of time. But now this connectivity would mean that with this aircraft, people from remote areas will be able to come to Dibrugarh, which is going to be the newest hub of the Alliance Air. And from Dibrugarh, they would have onwards connectivity to other parts of Northeast, to Guwahati, to Calcutta, Delhi and other metros. So this is going to be a major boost. However, this is not for the first time that Dornier aircrafts have been used in civil aviation in this country. 2 decades back, the earlier version of Dornier aircraft were used by Vayudoot to connect smaller cities, but now that is defunct, and here you have this new generation version which has been completely made in India being pressed into service. Now HAL has been making Dorniers, rather assembling Dorniers for a long time for the military purposes as well as civil purposes, but this is the first aircraft which has been completely made in the country, and therefore you can see Alliance Air's crew is ready for the first flight. Preparations are being made. In fact, Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia would be flagging off this brand new aircraft for its maiden flight today, and after that, in a phase-wise manner, important remote towns of Arunachal Pradesh closer to the China and Myanmar border would be connected to this hub of Alliance Air here in Dibrugarh.
This is probably the first Dornier or Made in India aircraft to fly under civil registration. It's a very good aircraft. It's a short field takeoff capability, all weather operations. So yes, it's a Make in India aircraft, and the routes that we plan to work on are Pasighat, Pasighat to Leelabadi, Tezu, and further on ALGs in the Arunachal Pradesh once we get some experience in the sector. Yes, the aircraft is, like I said, it's capable of short field takeoff and landing. It's got a good payload capability, high altitude performance, and therefore it is suitable for operation in the hills. The pilots that are going to be operating this aircraft are initially going to be ex-Air Force or Air Force pilots who are going to train the other pilots who are going to operate in the Northeast.